welcome everybody. Welcome to Kaijutopia. I am Thomas Fairchild. And, as you can see on my screen, we are getting ready for another great stop-motion adventure. Today we are going a little bit farther than the norm. We are visiting Asgard, the home of the Aesir, or, you know, Asgardians, Thor, Odin, and such. But with a nice little kaiju twist. As of right now, you can all see that Asgard clearly needs a fixer-upper. We're gonna have Surtur, our big fire demon, disappear for a second. As you can see, my work is cut out for me. But before we really get into it and start utilizing movie magic, maybe some rune magic, maybe some Asgardian, maybe an Odin enchantment. Let's take a look and see who's here. Louis was our first. Congratulations, Louis. You win a prize. My gratitude. Jacobson Studios, thank you so much for being here, my friend. Appreciate, and it's good to see you again. And Mittens Cat Underlord, still one of the best names ever. Good to see you here as well. I am indeed 3 minutes late. I hope you all can forgive me, and that I am still worthy. My son right now is having a rough time, but he's getting by. We took him earlier today to get his first COVID shot, so he's a little cranky, but I think it's mainly due to the fact that, well, he's like 2.5 and kids get cranky. But sounds like things are simmering down a bit, but let's see what else we got going on. Okay, so, I thought there was a little bit more that needed a little bit more activity in the chat, but we seem to be up to speed. Excellent. So, here is what I am planning, and I don't know if you guys can see the mouse very well, so maybe I'll change that later to make things easier if you guys think it's a problem. But right now, let's take a look at Asgard. I am just going to remove everything but space. Here is our space background. This comes from the Astra pack that is affiliated with Big Film. If you guys ever get a chance, I'd look them up. They are amazing. And this really does look like it comes from a Marvel movie. Like Guardians of the Galaxy, for example. This looks like it could fit right in. Next, we have what I like to call Big Rock. Because, well, it's a big rock. This is going to be serving as the foundation of Asgard. Next, we have some crystals. These are the same sort of crystal effects that I use for Hakai, the space destroyer from a previous movie I made. I am prepared to do some deep dive VFX breakdown videos soon for that. Might just make it a live stream as well. And these crystal effects that I use are the main ones that Sorry, I was checking something. This is a crystal graphic that I use for Hakai's wings to give you another idea of just what this looks like. So you can see there are a lot of little specifics here that we can always cut out and render later in due time. But right now I just have it masked up, and I have kind of a good idea of where I'm going here. Here's some front crystals. I did some preliminary work in order to get this to, you know, at least in order for you guys to actually see where I'm going, or at least to get a feel for it. But so far, so good. I might like later on cut these out, different mask around different crystal shapes and put them all over here. Just having them jut down. And now we're gonna come to the Asgard castle, or kingdom, I should just call it. And it will eventually come with a complementary glow mapped over it. Might change out a couple things, like cut out around the trees, because even though, you know, it's the home of the gods where trees glow. Makes sense. Next we have two backgrounds here from these graphics. Come from Production Crate, another place I highly recommend. Definitely more for those who are on a budget. So background, we got mountains 1, mountains 2, I'll just call them. Oh, forgot the 2 part. Before I continue, how is everyone doing? Has your day been treating you okay? Any plans for the rest of the week? I know it's a Wednesday, right? I forget what day it is usually now. It's just the life. For some regarding upcoming plans, my friends and I are planning to go see Thor: Love and Thunder next Friday. We will be going to the IMAX theater in Seattle, and we are totally going in costume. We are cosplaying. I am, of course, going as the mighty Thor, and it's going to be a blast. Spoiler, you could probably see a certain movie prop I'll be using. Stormbreaker herself. It's going to be fun. I can't wait. All right, so what else do we got? I'm gonna get to Surtur and all that in just a second. I still want to try and describe to you guys just the overall set piece that we're going to be doing. And yeah, eventually, just so no one thinks I'm crazy, all this right here, yeah, we'll trim this out, mask it out later using our pen tool. But right now I'm just going to leave it because, So the current plan is I am going to add water here, and to give you guys an idea of just what I'm going to do with this hole, I'm probably first going to turn this into one big long loop, and then I'm gonna turn it into its own comp and then mask it out from there. We'll see. But my plan is to have the water, it's going to be behind the castle, and it's going to take up this sort of space both in front and behind it. And then once that's working right, I am going to add some waterfall effects that will come off the side and in the front, and it will of course drift off into space. But I'm still trying to decide the proper order. But let's take a look here. We have our fire demon Surtur, and originally I was thinking of just having him like burst from out of the ground, but then I thought it'd be really cool if we added a fireball effect. And that's how he arrives. As soon as it arrives, it's like, of course, a big old explosion, because why not? Explosions are cool. Gonna Michael Bay this. And then from the fire, we see Surtur, clearly being controlled by his true master, who's, we don't know quite who this incredibly handsome supervillain is, but he's clearly up to no good. And from there, once Surtur arrives and the place kind of starts going up in flames, Currently this project is just titled VFX 1. It'll pretty much be done right there after everything is I don't think this one will take terribly long. I don't know if I'll finish it with you guys tonight, but I don't think this will take too long in the next few days to come to finish to get just right. But I will be revisiting this the same scene, and the goal eventually is to have Thor himself appear coming down from the Bifrost, you know, the shiny rainbow bridge way of how he, you know, travels around in the movies. And he's going to be, you know, confronting Surtur, and eventually Thor will reveal that he brought a friend, and I'm sure you guys can figure out who that is. Mittens Cat Underlord says, I'm fine, gonna get Taco Bell, hope you enjoy your cosplay movie night. First, not as much as I hope you enjoy your tacos. That sounds so good. And thank you. Yeah, my friends and I have been doing the cosplay thing for years. Even as far back as 2012's Avengers, when that first came out, my friends and I all went as the Avengers, and it's kind of become a bit of a tradition thing. We enjoy it very much. Jacobson Studios, I've been trying to work on my project today. I'm really interested in Norse mythology. I'm part Scandinavian. That's so cool. Wow. That's cool. Also working on your project today. Interesting. It'd be what a crazy coincidence would it be if your project was Norse related. But still, that's awesome. What kind of project are you working on? If you don't mind sharing, of course. Godzilla Productions TV. Welcome, buddy. Welcome. Live again already. Let's go. Yeah, man. You know, I had that little week or two hiatus, but thought, let's just go for it. I don't plan on streaming, you know, live streaming the entire editing process. Knowing me, I'll be back at this again tomorrow, just by my lonesome. Normally, my process is I like to listen maybe to background noise, like some YouTube videos could be playing, or some podcast could be going, or something. So, right now, it's, I'm just trying to entertain you guys. Yeah, already working on the Thor thing, I see. Yeah, okay, so in case anybody is wondering what exactly Godzilla Productions TV means by that, in the last stream, or maybe the one before it, I was talking about how my next project will be what I'm calling a Big Damned Heroes versus Big Damned Villains. But then I mentioned that I'm also planning a Godzilla, Thor, Love and Monsters video. And for the record, I did say this could, you know, there's no really any order. The next video is subject to change. So, you know, I couldn't resist, especially with the new Thor movie coming out like next week anyway. So why not? Still glad to have you here. Thanks for coming, guys. Alright, and I guess that segue is over. The next thing I'm going to show you guys are these two columns. They are definitely way too bright for my taste, but we'll revise that later down. This is gonna be like one of the last things we see, but what I still need to make are like these, is the Rainbow Bridge itself to connect. So I don't know quite how I'm going to do it just yet, or if you're going to see me start today, but this right here serves kind of as the gateway to the Rainbow Bridge, which will extend towards Asgard, we see. But yeah. Alright, I am kinda thinking what we should do is just get Surtur out of the way. What do you say, guys? Let's tack. Are we ready to take Surtur on already? I think so. All right. So, I mean, it's not like it's up for a vote or anything, but. Ooh, Jacobson Studio says it's a prologue for my movie Godzilla vs. Gigan. I remember you mentioning this before. I'm about halfway through since it's 1.5 minutes long, but the actual movie will be much longer. Awesome. Please keep us posted. And when you're finished, feel free to share link, and I can't wait to see it. Oh, I should remove the fireball effect here. Okay, so you'll notice already something very peculiar here. So originally I was thinking I wouldn't have to move him like this because, you know, normally it's stop motion. So you just go in and frame by frame make little tiny adjustments. Tried that. So this figure was not the easiest to work with in that setting. And I'm going to increase the resolution just a sec so you can see this, but the other problem was always trying to, for some reason, just getting it to land in his hand here. I thought it looked cool, and yeah. One little cool thing I'm planning, I don't have the effects with me just yet, primed to go. Maybe we'll, and maybe when I take a break, I'll seek out the effects and stuff. But what I'm gonna have him have some sort of molten vein-like effect, so it almost looks like he's glowing. His sword, his flesh, everything is just it's gonna look like there's like rivers of lava just flowing underneath his molten skin, whatever we want to call it. I really can't wait to get, to that point, because that's gonna be a lot of fun. Maybe even add some fiery effects on top of him and behind him, and of course some distortion effect as well, because fire, air kind of distorts the air and it looks all wavy. So that's gonna be cool too. But I think the first thing we need to do here, let's bring the resolution down again, because my computer is already begging me to stop. Alright, let's just make sure we already have him where we want him to be. I think we could stand to have the Great Surtur. Perhaps we can make him a little bit bigger. Not much though, but we still want him to be like terrorizing. If you guys have ever seen Thor Ragnarok, you would know this guy. I think the official stats for him, when it's all said and done, he was supposed to be like 4,000 meters tall, which is like insane. In other words, he would make a great challenger for Godzilla. Godzilla would, of course, totally win. I mean, come on. And if not, then, Thor could help Godzilla. Hence the whole team up. Hey, no worries. See you later, Jacobson Studios. Have a great rest of your evening, my friend. And we'll catch you again later, man. Take care. Alright, so I think what I'm going to have to do first is definitely cut around here so we don't, around the hilt of what is called the Twilight Sword. And then we're going to be cutting, yeah, this is where there's some stop motion. As you could see, it was really rough, but worth it. Alright, resolution has to go up. We're going to make everything else disappear, including space. What's going on here? to select it. Sometimes I forget to select the file that I'm going to do this on, and cause a whole lot of problems. Not a whole lot, but you know. Okay, I think we have our hilt here. And before I even make the green screen go away, oh wow, our big rock is still here. Before I make the green screen go away, we're just gonna go with following the motion effect here. And what I am doing is setting a mask path. Now I could also make sure to feather this out a little bit, which would be wise. And once we feather this out, we also want to see I'm only gonna have to take this all the way to the corner here. Where do we begin? I'm trying to make sure I don't accidentally, of course, mask out like his legs by mistake. Alright, so let's see what we're gonna do here. Strap yourselves in. This is where things can get really monotonous. But I assume that's why you're here, right? I mean, you're willing to brave this sort of thing with me. You guys aren't gonna leave me alone, right? It's totally cool. If you guys have better things to do, feel free. If you got any questions, of course, feel free to fire away. Doesn't even have to be related to this. We could be talking about anything, guys. If you're here, I'm assuming you're a Godzilla fan. Maybe you're even a Thor fan. Maybe a Marvel fan. Those could make really good topics, good things to chat about. Alright, so far this is not bad. It's not great either, but it's kind of like one of those things where I don't think many people will notice this sort of thing. Of course, now that I've said it, the moment this movie is done and comes out, you guys are gonna like leave a comment. You're gonna leave a comment that's like, "Hey, good movie, but like, you could have done a better job with masking around the hilt of Surtur's sword." Amateur hour. You're not wrong, by the way. Alright, so he moves over. I say he. This is actually still me. I'm the one that moved. That's right. Spoiler, I'm the one that's controlling Surtur. I admit it. Fine, I confess. It was all me. I'm the one that caused Ragnarok. Which was such a fun movie. Really enjoyed it. Ooh, just suddenly realizing we might need to make certain changes right here. I'll give the prop, I'll give this figure props, man. The detail is really cool. I mean, the articulation's okay, and I really wish you could have opened and closed his mouth. But aside from that, it's pretty awesome. Let's see. so I don't get distracted about, oh, wait a minute, what am I doing again? I don't know. I have no idea what I'm doing. Someone like just tunes in for the first time. They're like, hey, I wonder who this Kaijutopia guy is, and the first thing they hear me say is like, I have no idea what I'm doing. Yeah, a little slight tweak here, but surprisingly not too shabby. Usually I try to start this. I used to start when it came to doing these sort of masking paths. I would be all over the place, but it's really good to just go in order, like just start from the beginning. Because if you start in the beginning and then jump to the very end and then start trying to fill everything in between, it's not always accurate. Sometimes it just makes things a little bit harder. I don't know why. I think it just confuses the computer. Maybe. Okay. No, it's going too fast. Oh man. So we're not that far from the finishing line. I want these masking points to remain where they are, where they started. Yet another thing that if you change too much, like if I, again, like I said, if I'm starting from the beginning but then jump to the end and then I'm going back and forth like a ping pong ball in the middle, just creating different masking paths and points, and I change, like let's say I take this point and put it over here and then I keep adjusting it over and over again, it's gonna cause so much problems later. Yeah, I don't know if I could talk right now. All right. Yes. All right. Oh, that's not what I meant to do right there. Just keep imagining removing Surtur's green screen. That is our first goal of the evening, is to get Surtur's green screen removed. And in order to do that, I need to get this motion thing down. And then after that, we will be making progress. Oh boy. Oh boy. This is a workout. Anyone that that works out, you know, might find that either funny, relatable, somewhere in between. Hopefully they understand sarcasm. Alright, then he goes down, right? kind of don't need to map out this area, but wouldn't hurt to have that ready, especially since everything's gonna move rather quickly right here. It's not something I was aware that I was doing, but here we are. Before wrapping up today, we're still, let's see, about 34 minutes in, give or take. Yeah, almost 34. 34 minutes in. I'm going to try and do this for at least another 30 minutes, but I will make sure that near the very end, I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek of the Thor green screen scenes that I filmed earlier today. And they are pretty cool. I used the Thor Infinity War Hot Toys figure. You may be familiar with my using of this figure in the past. I used it for last August's Legends of Power video, where it's basically sneak peeks of projects that I've, you know, some dream projects of mine that I really want to do someday. And one of them happened to be Godzilla versus Thor, which is totally still on the agenda. I know they're teaming up for this movie, but they eventually will have a glorious battle that even the great brave warriors in Valhalla will feel. And in case anybody's wondering, kind of hoping to start production for Godzilla vs. Thor. I'm thinking around January 2023. I know, it's almost July here in 2022, and already I'm like, yeah, so here's what I'm planning on doing in 2023, but hey, it might be a little bit sooner than that. Maybe. I don't want people to think I'm just sitting on this project. It's one of those projects that I've always wanted to do, but I also feel like I need a little bit more time, because even though as of right now I don't think it's going to be one of those like 10-20 minute stop motion videos like those. The only one that I've made recently or ever that made it to the 20-minute mark was Mechagodzilla vs. Destroyer vs. Space Godzilla. MDS, guys. MDS. And MDS, I can tell you, was... oh, man. That took a long time. But you know what? If this project ends up turning into that, I've been dreaming about doing it for quite a few years now, so I think I would be fine if that turned out to be the case. Alright, so I think our masking is done here, and now we just gotta check it out from this vantage point too. And it really doesn't look too shabby here. We will probably need to do this right here. Let's see. Oh, I made a mistake. Oh man, caught in 4K. Tom making a crucial mistake. You know what? That's fine. I think we're good. I think we're good right there. We'll just call it. The mistake, in case you didn't know, I'll just point it out. Here, I'll bring it back so you guys can see. So normally, you see me move the arm here and the sword down, I never took my arm away. I never moved it out of the frame. Instead, I just kept going. You see me move it away that time, but by that point, it's like too much. Too much of a... There was too much movement there for just 1 or 2 frames. Amateur. But again, not really that big of a deal because it doesn't really need me to... That was kind of the extra seasoning, I guess. Pretty good though. I mean, this looks pretty nice. It's got the right movement. I'm liking it. All right, so. Sorry. Let's get to Surtur, guys. We are going to initiate my green screen galore. Let's take away that green screen. Currently we see him in just all this blackness of space. I'm going to bring up this split screen so we can better see what areas need work. My favorite part about this tool is where you go down to Spill Killer. I remember the good old times when, before I relied on Red Giant's green screen, the Primat Keyer 6, we used to use Keylight, and this sort of thing would take hours. I mean hours to get right. It still can take a while depending on your lighting job. But right now, it would seem I did decent. But what we really want to do right now is bring the split screen back up and just make sure that I didn't screw up too much. Just going to take a moment to render. Just need to keep my eyes out for any disparity, any changes. No, it's looking good. I'm almost surprised. Normally there's some irregularity, but maybe it'll show up when we add a background. Space has returned. Oh man, that looks pretty cool. Done. We'll just leave it at that. Our Surtur is looking glorious, as expected. Let's bring back some of these effects. Oh, I forgot to bring this one up earlier. I don't think I'm gonna go with the palace. I don't think it's necessary in this shot, but I'll bring it back in a different shot. I have a different angle in mind, so we'll get there. We'll incorporate it. Alright, so the fireball comes down, and at this point I'm thinking there's going to be a big old explosion effect of some kind. I'll have to add that in later, but right now, here's Surtur. So I go, probably want to have the fireball effect come in later. The reason why is because I feel like this is such a great I kind of want a chance to enjoy Asgard very briefly. You know, it'd be a shame to go through the go through the whole process of, well, creating Asgard just to like give you only like 2-3 seconds, if that, to marvel at the work of the gods. Okay, I'm getting a little sidetracked, but yeah, we'll have to definitely add like a big old fireball, some explosion effect. But not bad, not bad. What I'm wondering right now is, did I... I don't think I'm quite ready yet to show the cool glowing ember effects quite yet, but here, let's see if I can look for it. Here's some of my fire effects, and now I'm looking for my downloads. Where did I leave that? Underwater, no, that came after, I think. I don't think I actually downloaded it. Let's see, I am looking for, I think I'll just do this right now, just because everyone, just because you guys, I want you guys to see it when I see it, if that makes sense. All right, let's see if I can get that going. Alright, that might take a while to download. In the meantime, let's save and make sure we don't accidentally lose everything. Anybody who is a VFX artist would tell you it's good to save. Even if you have an auto-save option, don't trust it. Just get in that mindset of, if you're using a Mac, I just do Command S and it will save immediately. Do not lose your progress. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Actually, you know what? You've earned it. Collect your 200. I think in the meantime, let's a more practical way of doing this, but I did say earlier I would cut these. The time is nigh. I'll have to go in and adjust the corners a little bit better, because this is a little bit off. Not too much though, not too shabby. Oh boy. Made a mistake. Totally fine to make mistakes. We're all learning. We're all doing the best we can. Aside from that, it's not bad. It's looking decent. Whew. Got about 12 more minutes. 12 more minutes. All right. Is my download ready so I can drop that in and show you guys? what I have in mind. All right, smoldering rubble. Excellent. All right, let's see if I can add the glowing effect to Surtur now. Just to show you guys what I have in mind. All right, so I'm going to pre-compose Surtur right now. You're going to see why I am doing this in just a second, but it helps to just move them into a different... Oh. Oh my. Oh my gosh. Baby invasion. Hi, Bubba. You want to come say hi? Yeah, come here. Come here. Come here, Bubba. Come here, come here. Alright. Come at it. You're making Surtur, okay? That's what we're doing. We're working on Surtur right now. You know Surtur, the big old fire giant that destroys Asgard? But maybe not this time. Alright, see that? That is the bad guy. And what Daddy wants to do right now is he's going to take this smoldering effect. The smolder. Here comes the smolder. As we can see, it's looking mighty fine. And, okay, so I'm going to make a duplicate of my Surtur comp. I'm going to put it above the smolder comp. And then we're going to play around for a little bit. You see what I just did? I took this different matte and turned it into the alpha matte, which basically isolated the smolder, but within the confines of Surtur. So now that's saved as its own thing. I know, is that cool? That is so cool. Oh, look at that. Oh, man. What I might want to do now is just increase this. I normally don't want to stretch it out or make it shorter because he's a giant, but it'd be kind of cool to just see everything. And of course, if this one ends up not working out, I can always try and add another one. I have a couple of these that might work. These effects are from Action VFX, who should totally sponsor me, considering the free publicity I give them. But they do solid work. Their assets are some of the best I've ever seen that's available for filmmakers like myself, and I cannot recommend them enough. We're gonna reduce this again. Yeah, that's looking kind of cool. Yeah, it is. It's going places. I am sorry for not introducing everyone, but this is my son, Logan. He is amazing. He loves Godzilla movies already and dinosaurs. Every time he sees Godzilla, a picture of him or on screen, he goes, ah. Don't you, Bubba? Are you thirsty? Okay, so I think oh, yeah, baby sees stuff, he just wants to grab it all. So what I want to do is turn these two into I'm trying to do this while holding. Ah! As I was saying before, things got super dramatic. My goal, when I'm able to get to it, is to take these two files here, the smolder effect and a duplicate of Surtur, and combine it into one comp, which I could later work with as its own. Well, that is, I'm sure, not very easy on the ears, so let's see if I can adjust this a bit more. No. We don't want to hurt everyone's ears. For if you're still with me, I'm so sorry. Close encounter with the baby kind. Alright, let's see if I can do this. Trying to do this with one hand. Alright, we selected both, and now we're going to go up to composition. No, we're going to layer, and we're going to hit the pre-compose, and we're just going to call it smolder. Smolder. Here comes the smolder. And now I have to change it, the mode to add, so that you can actually see it.
Pardon me.
Oh, hello. It's time to brush your teeth. There you go, bud. Yeah, brush those teeth. Wow. Wow, that is dedication. Yeah, I'm liking it. It's looking pretty cool. Got a few more minutes. I think what we can do now is let Surtur take a break for a second. Yeah, get your toothbrush. I was going to say that my plan would be to... Oh, you alright? My plan now is to try and get the ocean done, but I don't know if that's going to happen now. Let's just try it. So, the water effect, I think, could use some work. I'm trying to remember. So how I do this, I want to loop it. So in order to loop it, yeah, oh, you know, yeah, you know it, you know. I want to, I think, go to. Never say no. Never say no to a baby, to a 2-year-old. I need to, I think, enable time remapping. And then, again, kind of hard to do this now because my hands are limited. But eventually, I'll just tell you, the goal here is to create a looping effect. And at these points, you'll see these 2 points right here. This is the beginning, and of course this is the end of the file, so that when I put in a couple codes to loop it, it'll just loop this area, but then carry over for the remainder of the project. I used to just make duplicates and just line them up next to each other in the timeline here. Hmm? Oh? You want me to do it? Alright, well, I think what I do is I go to control. Oh, nope, that was not it. That was not it. There we go. It was actually option, and I think I type in loop out. And after I do that, I can carry it over now. You want the water? It's funny, he says owie when he's not hurt, but he says it because it gets attention. He's such a clever, he's a clever kid, clever boy. He knows exactly what to do to make me drop what I'm doing and pay attention. Yeah. Should we just edit together always? Should we make this? Should we just do this? To start a thing where I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Alright, Bubba, time for bed.
Mm-hmm.
Come, time for bed.
Alright, that's my no. No. Apologies to everybody who may have lost all hearing. Alright, here you go, Bubba.
Thank you. Can I have that toothbrush?
Yes. Here is the toothbrush.
Excellent. Now you want some?
Alright. Well. And now just watch. My ratings will now plummet. The cute kid is no longer in the picture, so now it's back to me. I'm so sorry. But at the very least, we've accomplished so much together tonight. We have made Asgard for the most part. We completed the Surtur animation motion today. We've added his smoldering effect. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna... There we go. Sorry, I just lost concentration for a second. I do think that looks a little better. Not by much, though. I am going to cut that anyway, so... Sorry, I got a little sidetracked. Okay, let's mask this out before we call it a night. After that is fine. Alright. Our map is made. Let's feather this a little bit. Not by much, though, because then it might look a little extreme. Alright, so this will be subject to change. We can always come back and you see something that I don't like here, and I could be like, all right, well, let's bring the water down a bit more. And again, this is a give or take, I think. Oh, hate it when it does that. I am currently listening to my son laughing maniacally in the background. What we also might do later is add a reflection effect of the castle here in the water, and if possible, even do Surtur himself. But we will see if it comes to that. Until then, let's throw in some of this fancy waterfall action. Of course, later on we can make it so that the water texture kind of matches, you know, the tone. So you notice that the water here is all dark blue, but suddenly it's all light. We could change all that later, but I am just giving you a crash course of just what I have in mind. And of course, here's some of the sides. This might be best to just go underneath the water. Yeah, there we go. Kind of. Trying to figure out if I want to do that there as well. Yeah, underneath the water is good. Okay, so my goal here will be eventually to have the water more layered. There will be multiple different versions. I might even expand on these, the waterfalls, but it'll take up the entire corner sides of where you see the water so that it shows that this is all falling. But I'll have to plan that out to figure out how far in advance how I want it to look. And yeah, eventually I'll loop it as well, as I had done with the water effect. I can do the same I can loop out the waterfall so that it just continues on and on until the end. All right. Oh, hey, Godzilla Productions TV. Good to see you back. Sorry I had to leave without warning. No worries. No worries, man. Thanks for coming back and saying hello. We, I don't think you missed too much. Just a lot of technical stuff. Completed the Surtur motion. Currently trying to get a better feel for how Asgard's going to look. And I guess, and also my son invaded the editing room, so it was a collaboration. We worked together. It was, I think it was extremely well done. But here's an idea of what to expect from this first part. We see Asgard looking awesome, and then boom, fireball effect. There will be more effects added later. Surtur standing like a boss. I added some smoldering glow effect to him as well. And yeah, I think it's good work in progress. I think I've said that like 20 times now, so clearly need to come up with other ways of stating, well, I think the obvious, but alright, so overall, to give another, I guess, an idea of what to expect in the future, assuming I keep these columns later, what I want to do is eventually add the rainbow bridge that will take up this space So knowing this is some helpful advice I've learned through trial and error, is that you don't want to, as a VFX artist, you want to like create everything, down to the last minute detail. But if I'm going to end up putting a rainbow bridge here, that also means I should not have to focus too much on adding more detail or adding effects that chances are you're not going to notice. I've learned that the hard way so many times, where I would go all out only to find out that nobody really noticed. And that's common. It's very easy not to notice these sort of things. So you have to also think not only like a motion graphics artist, but you also have to think like a storyteller. You have to think about, okay, what do you think the viewer is paying attention to? What helps move the story? What exactly do we want them to see, and are they seeing it? I guess for now the columns we'll take care of. Alright, so we are nearing the end, but as promised, Godzilla Productions TV, I don't know if you were here when I mentioned it, but I am going to share some sneak peeks, some Thor green screen action that I shot earlier today, and thought that would be a cool way to bring things to an end, and you get to see the kind of the shenanigans that occurred earlier today. Oh, you know that feeling as well. Ah, yes. Someone who understands. Alright, so alright. Where to begin? Alright, so here is Thor. I am using the Hot Toys Infinity War version. Only you'll notice soon, but anyone familiar with this figure knows this Thor has shorter hair, but I had a different head model used for this. It'll be easier to show you. But first, here he is in front of my green screen studio. You'll notice that for the time being, I'm holding his cape down while I have my fan going, which that fan, it's a lifesaver. If you see me right here in the corner, it's right over here. And it's, it feels so nice. Summer is upon us, and it's already proven pretty hot up here in the Pacific Northwest, so I thought I would share and give the Thunder God a chance to relax. But so what's happening here is he's just arriving. Imagine this shot right here, because he's going to be showing up right in front of Asgard, to stare down Surtur. And the effect would still be incomplete if I just went with this, because I'm going to also have his hammer spinning in the background, because when he has his hammer, he spins it just to remain afloat, just to be floating in the air and such. But I think it would also be a pretty cool effect. So after he arrives, boom, there he is. Looks awesome. And as I'm sure you might notice, here is what I'm using to keep him up. It's one of those cool figurine stands. It's really awesome, but I had to also provide some green screen tape. This is going to take a lot of work, namely because of the shadows and such, but I've dealt with worse, so it's gonna look great. But let's see Thor in action from the front. And oh well, before we do, here's the hammer as well. This isn't the motion itself, I'm just trying to find the right angle and the right lighting and such, so it helps sometimes to, you know, do these sort of things. But this is a pretty good one right here. And if this the little screw right here, if that annoys me enough, I could always just remove it from the shot itself, but that's just a minor thing. Here's Thor from the front, looking far more Norse than usual. And so what's happening here is he and Surtur have words, and long story short, Surtur is just gonna be, he's kind of egotistical, you know. He's a 4,000 meter tall fire giant, so he's usually, you know, he's kind of a bully. And so what's gonna happen is he's just gonna talk down to Thor and be all like, you can't stop me. And Thor's gonna be like, maybe not. And here's my attempts at using stop motion again. Thor's gonna be like, maybe not, but he can. And this shot I might have to redo this. We'll just see how it looks. He's crooked. You notice his slant here. He kind of leans more to our left, his right. And that's, of course, because the hammer is heavy and such. So it's a lot heavier than it looks. Which makes sense because, you know, it's Thor's hammer and stuff. But anyway, Thor's going to be like, maybe not, but he can. And eventually we're going to have a shot where Thor right here, he won't, what I'm thinking is he won't be as close to the camera like right here. I will likely shrink him down a bit, maybe twice, or maybe a quick zoom out shot. But as what I picture happening here is his eyes will be glowing bright, his hammer will be creating electricity, and in front of us we're gonna have Godzilla rise, because Thor wasn't the only one to arrive with the Bifrost. He brought Godzilla with him, and so there will be like water just bursting, all splashing in front of us, and then Godzilla will rise, and Thor's lightning in this story will be giving Godzilla a nice big charge up. It will supercharge him and make him more powerful, which I'm sure everyone can guess where this is heading towards. As of right now, I kind of don't know. Here's another angle, by the way. I don't know which Godzilla figure I'm going to use yet. I kind of thought I was going to go with MonsterVerse, but I've been using MonsterVerse Godzilla a lot, it seems. I mean, he's right here in the background too, just watching me. But I'm gonna have to I feel like I need to improvise a bit. I need to try something else, and I was thinking maybe Kuryu Godzilla. Not sure yet, but here's me playing around with another shot, and I thought right here it could be like Thor firing lightning, supercharged, while Godzilla behind him is firing his atomic beam, and they both attempt to take out Surtur together. But that is what I have so far. This Thor figure is like, he's 1/6 scale, so he's like maybe 8-9 inches tall. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe I'm off. Closer to 12 inches. No, that's a good question. 10 inches? I'm going with 10 inches, guys. He's a pretty big guy, pretty big figure. Usually earlier, I actually took off his original arms because he has like chainmail armor, as he does in the movie. But the box set he came with allowed for these arms to show off Chris Hemsworth muscles. So I thought that would be cool. Why not? For this movie, let's have him look more like a warrior ready for battle. I don't know where I was going with this, but yeah, maybe this is why Tom shouldn't do all these streams back to back, so he maintains his sanity. Nah. But yeah, it's looking good, and I was really pleased with how things turned out today. In case anyone is interested, one minor thing that I had to do, the reason why I did things at this angle, why I have the fan pointed from this angle towards this cape, is because originally if the cape were to drop down, it would go behind the green screen pole you see behind him. And so if I digitally remove it, which is the goal, my goal is to cut around all this and remove the green screen. Every time that cape would come back down, it would it would look like it gets mysteriously cut in two. So it's good to keep these things in mind while filming, so you don't find out later in post that oh, I screwed up. And I'm not like making a $150 million budget movie where I have like a whole army of effects wizards, who, by the way, should be unionized. It's ridiculous that motion graphic artists are not unionized. They are incredible workers and artists, and they deserve to be. They deserve fair representation. Sidetrack. But I don't have an army of these gifted artists to help solve my problems, that I might make during filming. So I don't have anyone else but me to come in and save me during post-production. So it's just good to make sure of this sort of thing. But yeah, this is probably going to be like one of the best shots I've ever done if things work out right. The effect in question that I'm thinking of, just to go over to my huge, gigantic library. Oh great, do I not remember it? Bifrost glows. Okay, here's the Bifrost effect. Yeah, that's gonna look great. Okay. Okay, everyone. I think we're good. Probably tomorrow, Thursday, or Friday, I'm gonna be working more on this project. So the next time I stream, do another VFX breakdown, it might be a different, we might be seeing something different. So you'll have to wait until the final product, the final movie, to see what becomes of this shot. It's gonna be great. Yeah, so I'll keep you guys posted on what I'm planning on doing again in the next few days. I'm thinking the next one I want to do is, as I mentioned earlier at the very beginning, is I want to do a VFX breakdown of Hakai, the Space Destroyer. Show you how that came to be, and then probably another VFX breakdown not too long after, involving Super Mecha Godzilla and company. So be sure to like and subscribe if you... I forget this stuff all the time. Be sure to like and subscribe if you're new, if you were following along, if you like what you see and you've checked around the channel and you see videos that just blow your mind. Hey, thank you for liking and subscribing, and I hope to see you guys all again. Godzilla Productions TV, take good care, my friend. I hope you guys are all good and have a good rest of your night. See you guys again later. Peace.